Hi all, my name is Andrew and I'm going to be doing a review about a new liquid from the House of Liquids, which is a company that's based in the UK. Their web address is houseofliquids.com, but I also believe that there's a new House of Liquids site being set up in Ireland, which is where I'm situated. Now, first of all, excuse my voice. Somehow I've managed to get a cold during the greatest heat wave that Ireland has probably ever had. So apologies for that. Now, for any of you who don't know House of Liquid, they produce some really good liquids. I suppose you call them high-end sort of artisan liquids. These are pretty much handmade. There's a guy called Giorgio, I believe, is the guy who's behind it all, and he seems to be absolute stickler as far as quality is concerned. Most of their tobacco liquids anyway, he steeps pure tobacco leaf in the liquids to give them a really authentic taste, and as a consequence, yeah, what you're doing is you're getting something which is as close to natural as you can get. Now, they have three ranges, as far as I know. They have the El Toro range, and within the El Toro range they've got Cigarillos Natural, they have Puros Natural, Eden, Virginia Prime and Guevara. Another range they have is the Papillon Organic range, and in that there is a tobacco flavour, but there's also some fruit flavours such as green apple, forest fruits, and then they also, I think, have a menthol and a sweet spice. And then the third range that they have is the Cellar range. Now the Cellar range is a new range, I believe. Within that they've basically got three different flavours. They have one called Reserve, they've got one called Chivalry, and then they have another one called Minotaur. Now Minotaur is the one that I'm going to be talking about, so we shall get onto that shortly. But before doing so, I suppose I'd like to step back to one of the other ranges that I mentioned, which is the El Toro. Within the El Toro range, as I mentioned before, they have one called Cigarillos Natural. Now I have been vaping since nearly a year at this stage, and probably for about 10 months of that time, Cigarillos Natural has been my go-to vape. It's my daily vape. It is by far and away, the best liquid that I've had, and it's one that I haven't tired of at all. Whilst many others that I've been quite fond of, I've just grown out of them. But Cigarillos is always there as being one of my main ones. Now, as I said, nothing has ever really compared to that in the past for me, until Minotaur. And Minotaur is just released relatively recently. I managed to get hold of a sample bottle of it, so what I want to do is just tell you what my feelings and thoughts are about it. So here we go. Minotaur, what I have is 18 milligram Minotaur. I don't have it in the original bottle because I was given this as a sample to review, so here it is. Now, as you can see from this, it's quite a sort of rich colour. I don't know whether it's coming across on the camera, but it's a sort of a dark red kind of a colour. I would imagine that is probably going to be a colour that changes and darkens over time. This is not steeped, this tobacco. But straight out of the bottle, it tastes absolutely fantastic. I would imagine that, like many liquids, particularly some of his other liquids, such as Eden and Cigarillos, what will happen is it will get even richer and better in flavour as time goes on. But really, for something which isn't steeped, which is just straight out of the bottle, the taste on this is absolutely extraordinary. I'm going to be vaping this Minotaur 18 milligram in an E-Baron dripper, which you can see here, and that's a low resistance coil in there, a 2 ohm coil, and that's going to be sitting on my Provari, which will be going at 4 volts. So let's see how it vapes. As you can see, first of all, plenty of vapor, absolutely plenty of vapor. Taste-wise, it's a complex taste. It's a very, very good taste though. First of all, on the inhale, there is a sweetness to it, a sweetness, not oversweet, but it is there nonetheless. So as you're inhaling, you know that you're getting something special. You can actually feel it on your taste buds as it's on the way in straight away. On the exhale, it's very much a tobacco flavour. More the cigar end of tobacco flavour, but not the really, really heavy cigar end. It is a very, very full flavour, but there's undertones of, I can't quite put my finger on it. It's like there's a spice layer to this as well. So as you're exhaling, you get that lovely full tobacco flavour, but on top of that, there's these spicy hints which really make it something special. I'd also say that on the exhale, it isn't sweet. It's more, this is a savoury vape. But at the same time, there's enough going on that you know that, there's a real special flavour happening there. To me, it's a flavour that I really couldn't imagine that I would get sick of, because there's so much going on. It's like so many other things out there. If you've got a very bland, very one-dimensional flavour, it's something that you can get sick of quite quickly. Whereas, the more complex the flavour, the more the ingredients that are in there, the more full the overall effect is, and the more likely it is that you're actually going to stick with this for a long time. As I mentioned as well, I do believe that this is probably one that with steeping over time, it's going to get even more complex and even more fulsome and even nicer again. Now throat hit. Very nice throat hit. Again, not harsh in any way. As I said, this is 18 milligram on a 2 ohm coil running at 4 watts. It is hitting really, really nicely. It's just about the right level for me. There's no scratchiness about it. There's no thinness about it. It's a proper throat hit. And I think what that does is it just completes the whole experience with this particular liquid. So now I'll get you some details of where it is and what the cost is, etc. And we'll take it from there. So where can you get Minotaur? Well, you can get it online on houseofliquids.ie, also on houseofliquids.com. It comes in 60ml bottles, and it is available across all the different nic levels, so all the normal ones anyway, so 24, 18, 12, 6 and 0. So in conclusion, as I said earlier on, Cigarillos is my favourite liquid, has been for a long time. But it now has a contender, because this is well up there. If anything, I'd have to say a bit better than it. So what I'll do is, over time, I'll see how I go with it. I know that it's going to become a daily vape for me, and I have a suspicion that it's going to overtake Cigarillos as being my go-to vape, which I'll be using pretty much all day, every day. So in conclusion, Minotaur, House of Liquids, $25.95, 60ml bottles, well worth it. And in my opinion, it's certainly worth a try. Thanks again, guys. Bye.